Hey guys, in this video we're going to look at analysing Netflix as a case study to find patterns of success for our next investment. Stay tuned. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. So I had this idea that we can look at really good companies that have made a lot of money or have made investors a lot of return. That's what we're all about here, all about good investments, good trades, that kind of stuff. And obviously to get that, you have to good company that makes a lot of traction, gets a lot of subscribers, gets a lot of consumers, purchasers, whatever it may be. So Netflix is a really good example of how it's disrupted something, has changed the way we do things, and is now making a lot of money and subsequently making investors a lot of money. So let's drill down into Netflix and let's use some comparisons with potential up-and-coming IPOs so we can see exactly what is good features of these IPOs and what are the things that perhaps we can look for new companies in the future that come on board, that IPO, or even if you have a chance to invest privately, to see if these things can become the next Netflix, not necessarily the video streaming space, but in whatever space they're doing. So the first thing is scalability. Is it scalable? If you look at Netflix, it's massively scalable. They pay once to create the content. They do a lot of their own content now, Netflix originals, or they license the movie, however that's worked out between the Hollywood producer or the film company, should I say, and whoever. The point is one upfront cost that then gets put onto the platform, and then they can stream that multiple times, and it's very little incremental cost per stream, per view. So that big upfront cost, but then if they can scale it, they can make massive amounts of more money, and that is really good because it means that to grow, all they have to do is, as long as they've got that capital to create that initial seed content, or to purchase that content, or to license that content, however they do the deal, means that then when they scale, the profit just becomes incrementally, exponentially almost more profitable for them, because it's just flowing in. So that's a really good thing. And if you look at perhaps a potential IPO that we've got coming up this year, and also depending on when you're watching this video, it might already be IPO'd. If you look at Spotify, the same kind of thing, in fact, very similar, isn't it? There's a license fee to pay. They do have a free model, but there's a license fee to pay for the premium Spotify. The free model is subsidized by adverts, but ultimately it's the same kind of thing. Music streaming, they pay once for a license, or they actually, I think it's different with Spotify. They pay a royalty per play. So, but the point is, again, once the infrastructure's there and they do the deal and the stuff's on the actual app, then it becomes very low cost to get another stream. So as they scale and grow, the costs are reduced, but the profits start to increase. So that's something to look for if we're trying to find something similar to Netflix for the next investment. And Spotify is a great kind of example of potential upcoming IPO for that. Okay, number two. Data-driven marketing. So this isn't new by any means. People have been doing this for years. Even beginning of the internet, finding out what people like, what people click on, and then retarget them, re-advertising with that. But from a company perspective, if you look at what Netflix do, if you're a Netflix subscriber, you know that if you watch a movie or if you watch a documentary, you're then recommended similar documentaries or similar movies. So, for example, me, I'm going to kind of be recommended all the trading movies that are on there, any documentaries about Wall Street, about finance, about money, all the stuff that interests me, that will be recommended to keep me watching, to keep me paying. And I don't watch that much Netflix, if I'm perfectly honest with you, but it's there. I don't stop paying my subscription because I know that there's stuff there that I like to watch. And so they've done a good job on just for me, because I've found a few things that I've watched a while ago, and now I know that there's loads of stuff there ready that's going to suit me, and I'll enjoy watching when I want to sit down and spend 60 minutes watching something. So, okay, who's doing a great job of this? Of course, Amazon are. They're already out there. They, as you know, I don't know anybody out there hasn't bought anything on Amazon, but as you know, they will say something like, hey, customers who bought this also bought this. Now, that's not specifically new, but they'll add more levels to that, won't they? They'll market things to you. They'll promote things to you. You'll be segmented into a person who likes business books, trading books, and whatever else it may be, romantic novels, if perhaps your husband or wife is buying from your Amazon Amazon account or whatever it may be. You get the point. You're segmented, and they're doing a very good job of that, because they're bringing customers back in. They're saying, hey, you like this, come back in. Same kind of thing with Netflix. So Amazon are already doing that. They're already out there at the moment. But Uber, whilst it's not quite, they're not marketing as such because it's something that you need. They're using data, because data-driven marketing isn't new. Most companies on a big scale who are in that space are doing it. Any e-commerce company is definitely doing it if they've got a broad selection of things they're offering. So it's not new, but Uber is specifically into this data because they're not necessarily using it to drive marketing, but they're making decisions based on that. Where the drivers should be? How are we going to use this data? And ultimately, there's a big decision in there about how Uber's going to use that data. Are they got all this data of how people make journeys? How do they monetize that? But the point is, using the data on a bigger scale will hopefully, if they IPO and do it correctly, make them incrementally more profit. So number 3, make it easier for consumers to get what they already consume, buy, or use. If we think about, Amazon's a great example as well. We already shop online. It's nothing new there. Netflix is a perfect example for us to drill down into, because we were already consuming movies, right? We were already going to the store, the shop, Blockbuster, going in, you remember, you look at the counter, you look at all the movies, you pick the one you want, you go to the thing, they try and upsell you popcorn, expensive snacks, whatever it may be. You get your movie, you drive home, you'd watch it, you take it back a couple of days later. People really wanted to watch movies. And so Netflix just simplified that process. They didn't try to sell you anything new. They're not trying to sell you, describe to you how cool this new product is. It's like, hey, you already like movies. This is just a new way of consuming the movies. And so people go, yeah, I'll give it a try. And then they're on it, and it's relatively low back price point, so people stay on it. I think something like Airbnb, and obviously these are just things that we know that are potentially going to be IPOing soon. Airbnb is a good one because people are already looking for somewhere to stay. You either go to a hotel, or you rent an apartment, or you rent a villa, or whatever it may be. This now gives you another option. It's like, okay, well, if I'm on a budget, I can rent a room in a house. So travelers who are on a budget and don't want to spend a fortune, even on a cheap, horrible hotel, they can stay in a reasonably nice apartment with another person, and they get a better experience. They get maybe a local that can show them around. I mean, that's really, really cool. Up to the kind of the luxury end, where you want a very specific villa. Say you're taking a family, you've got 10 people going, you want 8 bathrooms, a nice swimming pool, nice this may be something that you go then to Airbnb for, as opposed to trying to trawl through all the villa broker sites who are going to take a cut from it. You can go directly to the owner and do the deal on there. So making it easier for something that you already want, but just a different way of doing it. So there's sort of 3 things, guys, that Netflix are doing that have done well, and I would argue that these are things that have made them the company they are. So what little snippets of those can we take for new IPOs or new investment ideas, or say like private investment opportunities that you potentially get offered, that have these attributes that may say, if the thing does get traction, they can scale quite quickly and make a lot of revenue. Anyway, guys, take care. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.